Okay, in this video I'm going to show you some of my techniques for using Google to research for debate. Let's start off with some settings that I like to work within for Google search. So click on Options, Search Settings. And I like to keep Safe Search on because you just need to filter out certain results on the web. It's the web. And also, I like to turn off Google Instant because when it's on, it makes the search results jump around and can be distracting while trying to type fast. Also, if you have a fast enough internet connection, set the number of results to a higher number. I like 100 results per page because it allows me to keep looking through results instead of having to page through. So, those are the preferences that I like to work within. Save preferences and go back. Okay, so let's start off with an example search query. And last year's debate resolution had to do with foreign policy with China. So let's pretend that we're doing some background research for that. So let's say we wanted to know how much we owe to China as far as debt goes. So how much does the United States owe to China? Search. So now we have a lot of results here. We have one from defeatthedebt.com, not sure where that is. One from Wikipedia, and one from Yahoo Answers. And a couple from Yahoo Answers. So a lot of odd results, none really from a very reliable source. Wikipedia can be good for background information, but I wouldn't ever quote it in a round. And since I want to quote this information in a round, I'm not going to use Wikipedia. So the first thing that we can do to help get to get better results would be to use a better search query. Let's eliminate some of the unnecessary words. We'll say US China debt. Now I only had to type 3 words for that one, and it also eliminates quite a few of the Yahoo Answers sites. And that's because I didn't phrase it as a question. I rather phrased it in keywords. So use keyword queries to get better results and to save time. So I'll show later how to actually get a very valid source for the United States China debt, but I want to go off and do make one other point, and that is that you need to use specific queries. So if you know what you want to get, then search for it. Like instead of just saying US China debt, I could say US China debt goes up, or increases would be a better word. So search for that. And then we can get some news articles that say that we buy more debt. It's a China Post article, things like that. So you can get more results that are focused in what you want if you use specific search terms. Also, don't use debate words so much in search queries. So you wouldn't want to say US China debt inherency evidence. That just doesn't work. Okay. You have to, or even harms. That's not a very common word in news articles or on web pages. If you said harm, that might be a bit more common, but problems or problem is a better word because it's much more common. Okay, so in the last segment we were researching the United States and China debt. So I promised I would show you how to refine your search US China debt to get the actual number that we owe. So first I want to format these results a bit more, filter these results out a bit more. First, dates are very important in debate. You have to get within for 3 years to actually have up-to-date evidence. So if you come over to the sidebar, it might say any time over here. You can select a custom range. If it does not show up, click more search tools. Sometimes it's hidden. And you have a bunch of ways to customize the search results all down the side. So custom range, and we'll go back to about 4 years ago, rounding to the year. So 1/1/2007. So we'll plug that in, and you notice that a lot of results go away. These are all from 2010, 2011, much more recent results. Now, let's say we don't want to have a certain type of, or certain word that shows up. So I can see here, we can, I'll go back, remove this filter. This is a good example. Wikipedia, if we don't want Wikipedia to show up, we can add at the end of our search query a minus sign and wiki. And that will remove from the search results anything with the word wiki in it. So if I press enter, see, anything with the word wiki has disappeared. And that can be helpful if sites overpopulate the first couple of results or whatever. It can be helpful to pare down results quite a bit. So I'll reuse I'll leave it off for right now. So that's another type of filter. And this filter, I think, will help us the most in getting the actual amount that we owe to China, and that's the site filter. And we can filter what sites we want to search. So if I wanted to only search, let's say, .edu sites, I could type site:.edu. Press enter, and anything with an edu ending shows up. If I don't want edu sites, put a minus sign in front of it, and no edu sites will show up. Now, to further us in our evidence search, we'll type site:.gov, because we want it from a government website. So here we have quite a few different results. And if you want to only search a specific government website, you could type in the front of it like treasury.gov. Press enter, and only results from the Treasury Department will show up. So here is a result that looks promising, and I'll open that up into a new tab so we can review that later. But this does look, yes, just so we can satisfy our curiosity, this does hold the amount of money that we owe to China. So as of May of 2011, we owe the Chinese mainland about $1.16 trillion. So we have succeeded in our little quest. But I still have a few more search filters to show you. So we'll go back on the topic of U.S. debt. Let's say that we wanted to search for United States purchases U.S. or China purchases U.S. debt is what we want to search for. So we can type in China purchases U.S. debt. Now, that can bring up quite a few results, but if we put it in quotes, then it will only bring up results with this search phrase in that sequence. If we don't want blogs, we type in minus blogspot.com. And this only has 4 results. Maybe this wasn't quite the best search term for that, but that shows you one other side effect of using quotes, is that it very much limits the results that show up because the words have to be in that sequence. So a better way a better example would be free trade, in quotes, US China. Search for that. You can see the results that I get. If I remove them, I get more China trade agreements, China trade relationship, US-China trade. If I put them in quotes, I get specific results to free trade. And the next to last filter that I will show you, or search tool that I'll show you, is the tilde. The tilde can be used to, or the tilde and its related term to asterisk. So the tilde will search for things that are synonyms. So let's say I wanted to search for something like US-China problems. But I also wanted to search for things like harms and difficulties, that sort of thing. I can put a tilde in front of problems, and now it will show anything, issues, help, trouble, anything that's closely related to problems will show up. Also, I could type an asterisk, and it's a fill in the blank symbol. So Google will fill in the blank of whatever should fit there. So joint statement, relations, dialogue, hurt, different things will fit in there. So that's a tool that can be used for a brief overview of what's going on in that type of query. And the last result that I will describe is, the last filter that I will describe is the file type filter. So US China debt. And this can be used to filter by any type of file type, HTML, PDF, PowerPoint, whatever. So we'll use PDF because a lot of organizations, government websites, a lot of official, well-known institutions use PDFs to publish reports. Wikipedia doesn't publish its pages in PDF format, and very few blogs publish things in PDF format. Most of the time, these will be respected sources. So search for that, and we have results from Cato. This is the Federation of American Scientists. This is the Congressional Research Service, Mirror site. You have all of these PDFs, and for the most part, they're from respectable sources. So those are just a couple of search filters that you can use to enhance your research.